It's been a good while since I uploaded something, especially a long-form video like this. I was a little bit stumped for ideas for a while, when I remembered a survey that a friend of mine did during the latter half of last year, that being 2025 if you're viewing this later down the line. If you've ever wondered, what is the most popular fursona species? I've got you covered. Today we'll be having a look at the 2025 Furry Species Census put together by K, otherwise known as Trash Bambi or Club Galaxy Art. Looking at some interesting data from the survey and comparing it with the same census run in 2023 and 2017. I believe the census has stopped taking submissions now, as the data was last updated in November 2025, as of writing this. All data submitted was manually inputted in a large spreadsheet by K, which must have taken so much time, and I just want to highlight their efforts by having a look at their findings. K also does some wonderful art, such as the piece you're looking at right now, and if you'd like to have a look and support them, I have linked their website in the description for your perusal. Before we get into the data received from the census, let's have a quick look at the questionnaire itself. It's incredibly simple, being just 3 questions. The character's species, this being the most straightforward part, such as dog, cat, horse, you get the idea. Their subspecies, breed or hybrid mix, such as, The monster section has a subspecies with a count of 1 singular person, with the mix pigeon, raccoon and crocs. I wonder who that could be. And lastly, whether they are anthro, your standard upright walking furry character, feral, that being a quadruped character or a 2-legged animal such as a bird walking in a bird-like manner rather than a humanoid one, or something else such as a kemono mimi, being a human character with animal features. Think of the catgirls you tend to see in anime and manga. Tor, a character having a centaur-like body with the bottom half of a feral animal and the top half of a human or anthro character. A sphinx, which would be a feral body with a human face, a naga, which is a character with a serpentine body from the waist down, a shapeshifter with multiple bodily forms, or something else. With that out of the way, we can have a look at the results of 8,579 characters. I sometimes forget just how big the fandom is, and that's even on the smaller end of the scale of numbers when you look at the attendee counts of the biggest conventions, or even just look at the amount of users online on Fur Affinity at any given time. Unsurprisingly, the majority of characters are anthro, clocking in at 7,667, don't say it, or just under 90% of all submitted characters. Feral characters come second at 1,632 reported characters, followed by 475 shapeshifters, 204 Tors, 161 kemono mimi, 42 naga, 20 sphinx, which honestly took me by surprise as I can't say I've personally seen any, and 23 people opting for the other option. Of course, we now get into probably the most interesting part, the breakdown of species. This is an extremely colourful and varied pie chart with a lot going on, but let's break down the largest chunks. The largest sector of this chart is actually hybrid fursonas consisting of a mix of 2 species, with 698 reported characters or 8.1% of the census, followed by dragons. 551 dragons to be precise. This surprised me a lot. I was really expecting the most common non-mixed species to be some sort of canine. However, as I anticipated, these were immediately followed by foxes, of which 379 were recorded in this census, and domestic dogs, of which there are 376. Another surprise, the next up was actually domestic cats, with 360 of them. I really did think there'd be more wolves. Original species make up 3% of the data, including various fandom original species such as protogens, Avali, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, so please have no angry Avali in the comments shouting at me, Wicker beasts, so on and so forth. Notably, Dutch angel dragons, or Dutchies for short, seem to be their own separate species on the chart. Every other recorded species takes up less than 3% of the whole pie chart, and if you'd like to see the whole chart in depth, I have linked it in the description for you to take a look at. Excluding hybrids from the chart temporarily, as they could contain any sort of mix of animals, we can see that, unsurprisingly, the fandom is largely made up of canine species, as adding up the totals for foxes, domestic dogs, wolves and coyotes brings the canid family up to 12.6 of recorded species, over a tenth of the whole data sample. We could leave it here, but let's get a little bit more in depth. Kei actually provided the subspecies information of all those who provided it, and breakdowns for most larger species groups. For example, let's have a look at the breakdown of domestic dogs. While 30% of the sample didn't provide a breed, a large chunk of these domestic dog fursonas are border collies, followed by huskies, Shiba Inu, corgis, golden retrievers, German shepherds, labradors, Australian shepherds, Dalmatians and Dobermans. That's a lot of dogs. I was going to do a section where I tell you the most common subspecies from each species with an individual sheet on the spreadsheet, but if you're interested, I recommend just having a look at it yourself, as I cut the section as I didn't really anticipate there being just under 90 individual sheets to go through, which led to a really long, boring segment of minutes of me just reading out the names of animal species. Oh my god, that was a long sentence without taking a breath. This same census, albeit with the body type part of the survey only being added in the most recent 2025 rendition, has been run twice before. Whilst the public results for 2023 and 2017's renditions don't have the individual breakdowns per species that the latest has, we could still use it to have a look at the common themes throughout the fandom and their choice of fursona species throughout the years. In the 2023 rendition, hybrids of two species once take up the largest section of the pie chart with 5.8 of total submitted characters, this time a staggering total of 10,005 fitting into that category. Next up is domestic dogs, followed by foxes, followed by dragons. 2017 saw a surprising twist where two species hybrids actually came second, losing out to foxes, who took up a giant chunk of the chart at 8.8% of the 342 submitted fursonas. However, two species hybrids follow very closely at 7.5%. Following in at third are wolves, taking up 6.5% of the chart, which leads me to ask, where have the wolves gone? Their numbers were definitely lower in both more recent surveys. I definitely remember a large portion of time in the fandom where it felt like every other furry was a wolf. Domestic dogs and dragons take up the next largest chunks at 6% of the total each. Comparing all of these charts, there's one common theme between them all. Furries love hybrids, canines and dragons. A big thank you to Kei for running this survey every few years and taking the time to manually collate all of the data into a publicly viewable resource. As mentioned, the results of the surveys for all 3 years that it has ran have been linked below for you to take a look at, as well as Kei's personal website for his art and other work. If you made it this far and stuck with me for the whole video, thank you! This year I really want to make the effort to put out more videos and cover a range of topics within the fandom. It's really appreciated for you to be here for that journey too. What species is your fursona? Did you make the larger parts of this list, or is yours more niche? And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you want to stick around, hit subscribe and become part of my radioactive flock. It's a free way to help me grow and makes more of a difference than you think. This was definitely a more unusual video, as the intention was more or less sharing a study about the fandom that I found interesting, rather than sharing my own stories or advice. I'm not sure if people would want to see more of this type of content, but if you would, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to see something else, let me know that too. I always want to hear what you want to see and how I can make my content better and more engaging. Next up in my list is a pretty exciting one and might lead to a switch up in how I present my videos. Let's just say my no including makers I own a suit from rule in my top 10 fursuit makers video from 2024 has already rendered it an outdated video, so you might want to be here for that. As always, thank you all very much for watching. I've been Ghostlow Griffin, have a joyous day and remember to smile always.